Hi everyone, Colin from Progressive Entertainment here again in Melbourne. This time we're moving into just discussing shortly wireless microphones. In front I have a fairly basic to intermediate, I guess, entry-level wireless microphone system. I wouldn't use it for vocals, for stage, etc. But for MC work, for your weddings, for your parties, 21st, whatever it might be, 40th birthday, these units do the job quite fine. I normally recommend to people to go for something that's intermediate, only because the cheaper, nastier stuff can give you a few surprises through the night which you don't want to have to deal with, and you want a warranty and you want a name that you can refer back to, preferably close by or with a service centre within the country. These particular mics that we're talking about today, just briefly, is a twin microphone system, as you can see. There's two channels you can see on the screen there, channel 1, channel 8, which is assigned to each handheld. Just quickly, I recommend to most DJs or MCs, if you're having a big function where there's a lot of speeches and so forth, change the battery straight away before the venue opens up, even before you leave home. Put a new set in and have a spare set on standby just in case, you never know. For my mobile rigs and for mobile DJs and so forth, probably about every 3 shows you can get away with, unless the speeches go for a long period of time. The beauty of the dual handheld, it's easier for handover, so if you can get a dual system, a lot better versatility. So if you've got handing over for speeches, you can use one. The people speaking up the front doing the speeches can have the other. If you're back at the console and you've got a microphone up on the bridal table, for instance, you don't want to be racing up there to grab the microphone to be able to start again. Some of the features on this particular one, and what I tend to look for, on the rear of the unit you've got volume control as well as from your console. So if one person speaks a lot louder, sings a lot louder, I guess, if you're having a bit of karaoke, you can adjust it from the back of the unit for individual volumes, which is very handy. If you have interference with the channels, you can change that from there as well. Most have a low battery warning of some sort, but not normally noticeable. Hence why we change the batteries quite regularly. They're nice and cheap, the AA's, so don't be scared to replace them as often as what you think you need to. It's better than running out through a speech. And in saying that, if you've got the dual handheld, you've got the extra mic there ready to pass over straight away and save a bit of an awkward pause during the show. These also have a jack or balanced phono jack input, which means you can have a belt pack, which is an optional accessory, I guess, if you wish to purchase that. Run an instrument through there, or if you just don't have the XLR connection that most consoles mixers do have. I always warn clients to talk directly into the top of the microphone. The better microphones you can get away with from the side and at a bit of a distance, but if they're not talking directly into the top or holding it close enough, then you'll need to up the gain a bit, and you can risk having interference with the weird noises that people don't like to hear can relay through that. Also, a distance from the speakers, obviously. If you walk in front of a speaker, the higher the volume, the more it's going to feed back on you. You can't eliminate that completely. You can only warn the customer, the client, and hopefully that works out for you. Also, frequency changed in Australia about 2 years ago, I believe, between approximately 700 and 800 hertz. All units have them written on the bottom of the receivers. If you're in a venue that you're just starting up and they say, oh yeah, we've got one, check the frequency and make sure it's within or outside of the frequencies that are now banned, I guess, in Australia. Reason for that is, I believe, a telecommunications company have bought the frequency for future release of radio and TV stations. So you don't want to get caught up in that. You might have a $1,000, $2,000 wireless handheld unit, but it'll be no good once those frequencies are used, and I believe it's quite illegal to use those as well. So just be mindful of that. If you do go for a cheaper brand, be mindful of the quality that you'll get from that and through your sound system. At least go for an intermediate if you don't want to spend the big bucks that they do on stage for band members and so forth. I wouldn't start off with a too cheap a one for that very reason. You won't need to replace it if you look after it. Most of them come in a case, and if not, make sure you get one for it just to protect it. Some antennas wind on and wind off, some are hard fixed like the one in front. Either way, you need to look after it and make sure those antennas don't get too bent or stood on, or whatever it might be, with loading and unloading of equipment and moving around. So keep that in mind. Hope it's been a little informative for you. If you've got any questions, shoot them through to us on Facebook at Progressive Entertainment, or through the channel on YouTube at Progressive Entertainment as well. And subscribe if you're interested in any of the videos we're doing. It's only to give everybody a bit of an insight into how these things work, and basic knowledge, I guess, for people who might be hiring and want to get the best out of a particular unit or fixture that they might be hiring. Thanks again for watching.